Hello again, everybody. This is Old Buck Dave. And at the other end of the line is
Old Buck Dell.
Old Buck Dale. Here we are. We're still, 1,200 miles apart or so.
Still alive?
But still alive. Still alive. Still kicking.
Yeah. You know, you just buzzed me and said, I'm zooming. So I stopped what I was doing.
Sure.
Which was...
What were you doing?
Actually, I was trying to put some... It's a bit of a long story, but I'll make it really short and sweet. I insulted the wife by saying, well, this is my kitchen. Don't mess it up. And she says, well, that's my floor. I want a new floor now. So we came to a compromise, and I said it's a lot of work.
The compromise is she gets a new floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
compromise she gets but I like this one. I like these colors. I said, okay. But I said, there's a lot of work involved in this, and
you won't be doing it.
Well, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do this.
Not she won't be doing it.
No, she won't be doing it.
No.
And then what happens is I run on adrenaline, and then I stop. And after that, I just can hardly move. So I swear I'm never going to do this again. Hopefully,
but you will.
I don't know. I know that's what I was doing. What are you up to? Tell me more about your adventures.
I got a question for you. Do you know what a nice mailbox is?
That's a brand, nice.
No.
Oh, have I seen a mailbox around lately?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
So we had a couple letters to mail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, up here we're still in Portland right now for another week.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife says, she said, let's go out and we'll go to the post office. I said, well, the post office is pretty far away. She said, well, okay, we'll find a mailbox. So we proceed to look for a mailbox. Now, I actually looked for mailboxes on my map. I Googled it, and it said the nearest mailbox was such and such, which turned out to be untrue. Okay, that was not the closest mailbox by far. But anyway, so we get to the first mailbox, and she said, and it was really beat up. Okay, it was all dingy, and it had all kind of graffiti all over it. She says, yeah, when I say she, you know who I'm talking about.
I know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, yes. My wife. Yeah.
Yes.
The good girl.
Uh-huh.
She said, this isn't a very nice mailbox. I don't think I want to mail it here. So, okay. Yeah. So we keep on going. We find another mailbox. It's kind of beat up too, and if you open the door, it kind of sticks. And she said, I'll bet they don't even check this one anymore. I said, yeah, they check it. It's a mailbox.
They have to check it.
They have to check them, yeah. So we got about the fourth, I guess it was probably about the fourth or fifth mailbox. I said, you know what? There are no nice mailboxes in the city here. We're just going to have to wing it and just go for this one. And she relented.
So we'll see what happens. Huh?
Yeah.
I think they'll pick it up. But, there's not very many around at all anymore. I can only think of two. It used to be several. You should be able to. But the rural delivery guy, he'll take it from your mailbox. I think that's probably
on the way back, guess what we passed?
A brand new mailbox.
the main post office.
Go figure. Yeah, that's the way it happens anyhow.
That's the way it happens. What are you going to do? But anyway.
Yeah. So what else is going? Tell me about all your adventures.
Well, I just finished another bike ride this morning, getting in about a half an hour ago, actually. I did like a 28-miler. Up the north, up the coast, and it was really nice ride. No traffic, nice wide bike lane on the road.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was terrific.
Wide bike lane. That's right up your alley there.
Low 70s. It's like perfect. Yeah.
Well, that is a big plus for you.
It is a big plus.
That little two-wheeler gives you some freedom wherever you go, and I kind of envy you that you can take your fun with you.
Yeah. As I say, I've had some nice rides up here. I've had some that were not so great. I'm picking these routes off a map, and some are better than others. I got into one 2 days ago that was just a lot of traffic for. Here's what happened on that one. This was ridiculous. So I was starting in Kennebunkport.
I've heard of Kennebunkport.
Kennebunkport, and I started off with the route. There was, there's a downloaded route, so you have to find your way to a spot on the route, and then you get, your bell dings on your phone and says, okay, yeah, this is it. You're on the route. And then you just follow the directions. You get audible directions coming from your phone.
Isn't that cool?
So I did this. Went from Kennebunkport, went to Kennebunk, and then took a long stretch through the country, and then ended up in Wells. And that was kind of the turnaround point. Swung around, doing a big loop, coming along the water. It was very nice at that point. So I get to Kennebunkport Beach, which is different than the town. I know it's a couple miles from the town. So I thought, I'm in the home stretch now. Now my wife's texting me at this point, says, where are you? We need to find a restaurant. She's hanging around Kennebunkport, okay. Oh. And I said, I think I'm about 4 miles out. So I'm going. And I get on the edge of town. I'm at a big intersection, and the directions say, go straight ahead. I said, okay. All right, so I go straight ahead. And I'm kind of going out in the wilderness again. And about 2 miles out, I spotted this house. I said, I passed this house 2 hours ago. Yeah, so I turned around and went back to that intersection, and then figured out that I really had to I had to get off of the route at that point. That was my problem. So I had to get off the route.
Follow your Google map then. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Then I had to do that to find my car.
I find that entertaining, because I do a little bit of that, not much anymore on the street, but I mean I hardly feel safe in some of those unknown areas. If I was in a Humvee, let alone you going through an intersection just on your bicycle and hoping that you're going straight there. So
I got to say, though, the drivers are pretty aware of cyclists. I've not really had any run-ins with motorists, other than one guy this morning. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm coming back. It's a slight downhill, and I see this guy's pulling out of his driveway, head first onto the road, and he's looking the other way. Okay,
oh, yeah.
I'm on his left. I'm coming up on his left. He's looking to the right, and he's like, and I'm thinking he's not going to stop. Yeah, he was halfway out in the bike lane. I had to slow down and then kind of weave around him, but he really didn't see me till I was right there. So that was really my only. You
have to assume that all the time, anyhow.
You always have to assume they don't see you.
Yeah.
So I saw him coming out. I slowed down, and everything was fine. But
well, I should let me interject here.
Interject away.
Yeah, this adventure was all possible by some 76-year-old legs that are still working okay.
I'm feeling it. They're feeling it.
Anyhow, it's like me on the floor, getting up and down, trying to put some kind of flooring down. Same thing. You beat it up, and then you pay for it later. Yeah. So
I got a heart rate monitor now, and I get heart rate readouts on my computer on my bike. And I'm going up this long hill, and it's going up. It's 130, 135, 140. And it's like, you're going to die. No, it didn't say that, but it.
Well, that would probably be your. I would talk nicely about you if you managed to go out on that on a high note there. I mean,
that's my safety valve, using that heart rate monitor now. Because anyway.
Yeah, you'd have to follow us to know a little bit about that. I won't go into that right now. So,
well, I got another bike story.
Oh,
actually. Yeah, I wasn't involved in this one other than as an onlooker.
You saw this? You were telling me something.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm sitting in my living room here, and there's a dive bar right across the street, and so I see a guy, and it gets really busy. People are in and out because it's mainly an outdoor thing. They've got
tables on the street.
Tables, and they got old beat up tables, and they have 55-gallon drums that they use for tables.
No.
When I say it's a dive bar, it's a dive bar. Okay. They've got a porta potty as their bathroom.
Interesting. And this is in Kennebunkport?
No. This is in Portland.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right next to the guy making cheesesteaks there. It's kind of romantic. But anyway, I see a guy rides up, lays his bike down on the grass in front of this place, and goes into the bar. And 5 minutes later, there's a couple walking down the street. The guy sees the bike laying there. He looks around. He jumps on it and rides away. This was a different guy.
So two and two is saying he thinks that bike is now.
I witnessed the bike theft. Yeah, it was kind of sad. I mean, there's really nothing I could do. I mean, I went out to the front porch thinking maybe this guy would jump out and would not, but I don't know who it was really. So anyway,
that happens. That happens to the careless all the time in the bike world. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when I go to my local supermarket, I usually undo my seat and make sure I'm chained up pretty good. So, hey, I had a question for you.
Sure.
Next time I was going to hook up with you. You know, there's sort of this is something that I've been thinking about. There's a sort of a increase in let's take over a country. How can I say? I'll say it that way. Like, let's say we got Russia. Let's say, well, let's just take Ukraine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not?
And you have China says, oh, Taiwan's looking like it's easy picking. I've always wanted that. Looks like they're going to jump on that. Why don't we go after Cuba? I'm thinking, why don't we just say, hey, you guys get those? How about if we take Cuba? Right, we can.
Well, we tried that once. It's called the Bay of Pigs.
No, well, we haven't done.
Didn't go so well.
We have to do what the Chinese do. We have to circle the island with gunboats and shoot missiles over it. Do practice our naval warfare.
What are we going to do with it once we get it?
Well, I don't know. It seemed fashionable. Maybe.
Okay.
It's one of my ideas that may not catch on.
It's a trend. Okay.
It's one of the. Let me put it this way: it's one of those ideas that I hope I'm not right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to have to pass on that opportunity. Actually,
you think you would decline recommending that idea?
I am not going to go for that.
Okay, that's buckstwooled@gmail.com. In case there are people that really want to do this.
Invade Cuba, yes or no? Talk to Dell.
Want to advocate for snatching an island ourselves while everybody's in the market for
anybody that responds with a positive, I'll send them Dell's home phone number. Yeah. How's that?
Yeah, 555.
Yeah.
So that's a cold brew. Just take a swig of the cold brew when I give you roll your eyes back, take a swig of the cold brew, and move on to something else.
Hey, speaking of cold brew, here's another fun fact. Portland, Maine, is the number one in brewery concentration.
Wonder why?
I don't know, but they're number one in the country. And I think most
for microbreweries?
Microbreweries, like microbreweries per capita are actually population per brewery. It's a huge number. And most of them are in my neighborhood here. It's incredible. I can in 5 minutes let's say 10 minutes, I can walk to probably 6 or 8 microbrews.
You're not a
I can't drink beer.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not a big beer drinker.
Can't drink beer. Can't drink beer.
Well, that's interesting.
That's kind of just a fun fact here.
A couple days, weeks or something, I don't remember when, you sent me something about, you mentioned the lanternfly. You said you somehow got exposed to them. You saw some of them, or they're still up there in New York?
They're still talking. People are still talking about it. I thought you'd enjoy reading that article about more lanternfly lore.
Oh, okay.
And I think the guy said the best thing to do is just squish them. So,
well, that's an early episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mentioned that, and I had what a really threatening pest that is, and still alive and well up there in the Northern Territory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here's something serious. Here's something that you can appreciate. I cracked a tooth.
Oh no!
Cracked a tooth. Cracked the crown. Okay. So.
Well, I can tell you what you thought of me
I did think of you because I know you and
second thought that went through your mind after that happened. You say, "Damn, I just croaked the thing. Oh, Dale's just going to laugh
exactly.
about that."
That was exactly my thought process. I said to my wife, "Boy, Dale's going to love when he hears this."
No, I tell you what, you know how I am about teeth. That's it's like a gold mine to dentists in there, and I'm such a.
Yeah, we were in some little town I can't pronounce, Mariskotskut or something like that, in a little restaurant. And I was having a salad and like start grinding.
You're gonna try to
get they got
fixed?
Some sand in this salad. they didn't wash this salad out. Like, oh no, it's something else. It's my tooth.
Oh, why? You're not going to try to get it fixed on the road, are you?
No. It's still there's still a chewing surface there.
Yeah, after about 3 days, your tongue will start.
My tongue's bloody. Yeah.
Yeah, stop rubbing it, and then it'll get used to it.
Quit checking that spot. It's not. It's still there. It's not changing. Yeah. Boy, that's exactly what happens.
I think all our listeners can relate to that. If they have teeth, they will know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh man. So that's what's exciting my part of the world here. How about you?
No, not actually. Except for this little project that I work on a little bit. I haven't had too many things to think about. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that I toss over about, but nothing I want to get into on our podcast. We want to keep it light. We want to look at life on the bright side.
Yeah.
Like Monty Python used to say, look at life on the bright side. So that's us.
Look at life on the sunny side of the street.
Oh, I know what I want to tell you. I did finish that book by BUCKSTWOOLD.
Yeah, what'd you think?
He's a fascinating writer. First, his mind is just. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. There's just nobody like him.
Mm-mm.
You have to be a fan. It's not for everybody, certainly.
No. Some people will just
Well, this book had a lot to do with, I think, satire. And you mentioned one time about large brains, and that theme ran throughout the book. And apparently, way back, he was born in 32 or something.
30s, early 30s.
Yeah, so way back then, he was still looking at the human race and all the antics and stuff they did. He weaved all this into his story, and he's just saying, if we only had little brains, we wouldn't think ourselves into these kind of troubles. We wouldn't do this stuff. We wouldn't do this stuff.
We wouldn't think up all these crazy things, get ourselves in all this trouble. Yeah, life would be so much simpler.
Right, and he made perfect sense. He made perfect sense when he was talking about Darwin and evolution, and he said, "Well, if you're on an island that doesn't grow much, what's the secret? Would be what? Somehow evolving into being a good fisherman.
Being a good fisherman, yeah.
And so it turned out the creatures that did well there were the ones that were able to catch more fish.
Yeah.
That's why. Anyhow, I liked it. If you're a BUCKSTWOOLD fan and haven't read that one, I'd say go ahead and add that in. But if you read some of his stuff, it might go back and read it again or something. We'll see. Yeah. Interesting.
Galapagos, yeah. That was a fun book, yeah. Well, hey, by the way, speaking of books and writing, I talked last week about the article that I had to write.
Oh, yeah.
For OLLI, for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, I think is what that stands for. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I got it. I got some feedback from a couple folks. I got some ideas from people, so I really appreciate that. You know who you are. Mm-hmm. And I used bits and pieces of some of those ideas. Worked them into my article, and it's presently at the editors now. Okay. So the guy who's my handler approved it. He said it was good. It was okay. Turned it in just a couple days ago.
So without having not read that thing yet, but I'm assuming that you concluded that yes, we can really learn some as we get older.
We can really learn. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. So well, that's good. You got that finished.
I'll send it to you when it gets published. It'll be published sometime. I don't know, it'll be later this month or maybe beginning next month. Anyway.
Hey, I know that TLB has a Twitter account. Is anybody tweeting with you, or have you tweeted anything?
I've tweeted a couple things. We've got I don't know, we got 3 or 4 or 5 followers now. We're kicking butt follower wise.
Well, why don't you tweet my Cuba idea? That ought to set the Twitter world on fire.
You know, if my picture weren't there along with yours, I'd tweet your Cuba idea. But
so the Twitter thing is, you got to wield the Twitter sword rather carefully.
I would, yeah. I mean, you're free to start your own Twitter account, buddy, and
no, I don't. I'm not.
You can pose that. You can pose that. See what Marco Rubio thinks. He'd go for that, actually.
I don't know if he was. He should have did that already, as far as I was concerned. Hey, we're going to have to convince a lot of people. The reason I don't have a Twitter account because you actually do both voices. There's only
it's only one person.
That's right. There's only one person. So
you weren't supposed to say that. You weren't supposed to say that.
So anyhow, so you're not tweeting up a storm anyhow. That's what I was
no, I am not.
You just wanted to prove you could do it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, it's you really have to do something that attracts followers. You have to have kind of have a following, I guess.
And Elon is still fussing over about whether he's going to buy it. And
yeah,
I saw in the paper he sold a bunch of shares to $7 billion worth of Tesla shares or something. And I mean, unbelievable. And all I'm trying to do is just figure out how to lay a couple pieces of board on the floor.
Yeah.
Different worlds, my brother. Different worlds.
Man.
Yeah. So, hey, one other thing while I'm talking, I talked to, I got in touch with Matarazz. You remember old Matarazz?
I do remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I says, ask him how he's doing. And he says,
he's still listening? He's still listening?
He likes to listen to us. He says, he said, he was rolling quarters. And he said, it was just such a mindless task. He just put on some episodes of the old Bucks. And he said it was very relaxing. He enjoyed it. And he rolled a couple $100 worth of quarters. And so there you go. If you want to do something that doesn't require a lot of thinking, just put the old Bucks on in the background and listen to us. Well,
that's kind of another public service announcement there.
Yeah. But otherwise, he said he's getting a little bit older. He said he's starting to. He's going to be 84.
Yeah.
And he's.
Happy birthday, man.
All the best to my buddy Matarazz. I want to wish the best to certainly all our listeners. Send in your thoughts. You can see the old Bucks. We have our good days and bad days, I suppose, but we enjoy talking to each other, and we certainly welcome any thoughts from anybody out there. But
hey, just remember, every day on the right side of the grass is a good day, buddy.
Whether you're limping or whatever, I guess that's the way to look at it. So, but all the best to the vintage Dixons that are out there. We wish them all the best and that kind of thing. So,
and that kind of thing, yeah. So on that, I'm going to have to say, we will talk next week.
Yeah, give me a shot anytime, no matter what I'm doing. I'll drop what I'm doing to check it out. And thank everybody for listening. And
all right,
talk to you again.
Good. See you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.